Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Caron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Yo, it's Tavon Greatness Patterson. Want to listen to Hot 702.5 on the go? Download the Hot 702.5 app on the Apple Store or Google Play Store if you got an Android like me.
Let's get it.
Tune in now on hot7025fm.com.
Hi. Hey.
What's up? All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled. This is Mila J. Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
No limit to the limit. Welcome to Marriage Bootcamp. No limit to the limit with Robert and Vicky Bell. I thought I told you. No limit to the limit. For better or for worse. No limit to the limit. For richer or poor. No limit to the limit. In sickness and health. I thought I told you to love and cherish until death do you part. 1 + 1 =
1.
2 is bigger, but it's
Still 1.
1 1,000, but 2
10,000.
Team Bell. Rob and Vicky Bell. Hot 702.5.
We out. Welcome to Marriage Bootcamp with Vicky and Robert Bell on Hot 702.5 FM, Risky Radio.
Good morning out there. Welcome to Marriage Bootcamp with the Bells here at Hot 702.5 Risky Radio, coming to you live from the city of Las Vegas here at Hot 702.5. Tap in and join us this morning. Good morning, Lady Bell. Good morning, listening audience. Today is November already, the 29th. So we down to, so that'll make Monday the 1st of December. So we'll be down to 31 days. I'm jumping right into it. We're down to 31 days going into the new year. That'll leave us about, how many days? When is the federal government, how long would the budget stretch to? To January 31st. So you down to 62 days for them stretching the government extension. 31 days to the new year. Do you have a plan? We getting right into it, gentlemen. We down to 31 days. What is your plan going into 2026? I think the food scare is over. I think this food, I didn't see a whole lot of drive this week. I didn't see a whole lot of, I think everybody had a good meal on Thursday. We're going to get into Thursday too. I was so proud about Thursday, Lady Bell. I think I got maybe one happy turkey day text. I think we're finally catching on to, I'm talking about us as a people, that why are you celebrating Thanksgiving? Why are you still celebrating in 2025? It's sort of like, it's like you're celebrating Thanksgiving and still going to church. Meanwhile, y'all celebrating Thanksgiving and still going to church. I'm so glad I only got 2 texts. I think they didn't want to text me because if you text Rob Happy Thanksgiving, you're gonna get some. He gonna send you some quote or some information of what happened in 1776 or what actually happened on that day. So don't even send him a text about Happy Thanksgiving, because he gonna send you some smart return. You're gonna get some smart return back. So thank y'all for not sending me no Thanksgiving Day text. But like I said, wow, since we're talking about Thanksgiving, I think everybody ate good. Everybody had a meal. Everybody had some leftovers. So like I said, we want to get back into it because we're down to 31 days. Food is low-hanging fruit. Everybody, it's been, to me, over here in Vegas, things was quiet this week. You know, I didn't get a lot of texts about food drives here. I didn't see no churches talking about we still continuing to give out food. Food is low-hanging fruit. We talked about how even in the help me, Lady Bell, in the when the Israelites went out, where did they live? When they left Egypt, when they got manna. Food is low fruit. When Jesus fed the 5,000 men, they said it was 5,000 men, not counting the women and children. He only had, what was it, 2 fish and 5 loaves, or 5 loaves and 2 fish, whatever. And he fed over he fed over a whole lot of people. And then he had some left over. Food is low hanging fruit. Lady Bell, when I was talking about food is low-hanging fruit, this is how low-hanging fruit is. And we talked about the free clinic last week, recall and review. We talking about it should be the church. You got to get ready for a health scare. You got to get ready for a health pandemic. You got to get ready for people who's going to need health care. Even back then, the church was prepared, Lady Bell, because you look at you. I was talking to you this morning about the disciples. And I hope, Lady Bell, you know, if I get too preachy, you know, reel me back in. But even disciples, even Jesus, he was so strategic. Like I said, food was so low hanging. Out of disciples, I think 6 of them dudes were fishermen. See, we want to give people a fish. No, you got to teach them how to fish. You got to teach them. You ain't got no money. Hey, my daddy always told me, you got to do whatever you got to do to take care of your home and your family. I ain't washing no dishes. You got to do what you got to do. I'm not sweeping no floors. You got to do what you got to do. I'm not cutting no grass. I got a master's degree. I'm this. I'm this. I'm a this and I'm a that. No, you got, hey, when it comes time to taking care of your home, gentleman, husband, father, man of the house, you got to do what you got to do. I got a degree. I'm not taking that job. I've been making $100,000 the last 10 years. What do I look like taking that job for $52,000? God forbid. But your family, your bills is behind. Bills collector is calling. You can't get her attention. You can't get her in bed because she all caught up with Bill. Y'all know Bill be keeping her frustrated. Bill be keeping her upset. You know who Bill is. Bill, the gas bill, the electric bill, the water bill. Don't let Bill take up all your wife time because you don't want to do what you got to do. Sometimes we just have to do what we have to do. You can't just, I'm going over and get this. I'm going over and get that. No, you got, don't just give a man a fish. You got to teach him how to fish. 5 of the disciples, either 5 or 6 of the disciples were fishermen. Y'all know Peter was a fisherman. His brother John, Matthew, they said Thomas and Philip and Bartholomew, they were all fishermen. Give me. No, you got to teach him how to fish. Jesus, he was so strategic. He was prepared. We talked about it's going to be a healthcare crisis. We said it's going to be some medical things that's going to be there. Food is low-hanging fruit. What about when your people need? Jesus had a doctor on board. Luke was a doctor. Jesus was strategic. And when Luke wasn't around, they were actually healing people back then. They say, if for my Bible readers and Bible believers, if they was actually healing people. Because what if when you ain't got no money, but they still need to be healed? Remember, Peter said, silver and gold, after hanging out with Jesus for 3.5 to 5 years, and you talking about, I want to be blessed. I want to be more than blessed. After 5 years of hanging out with Jesus, and the man said, begging for money, he said, silver and gold. Peter was broke. They talking about, oh, Peter wasn't broke. The disciples wasn't broke. They were just giving the man what he needed. The man wanted some money. But he says, silver and gold I have none, but hey, stand up and walk. So we gonna have a health crisis in a little bit. What are we gonna do then? Food is low hanging fruit. Teach the man how to fish. Teach the man how to work. Teach the man how to be responsible. No more, you can't, no more turning to your neighbors and saying, I'm blessed. Turn to your neighbor on the right, I'm blessed. Turn to your neighbor on your left, I'm blessed, and we're hurting. Turn to your neighbor behind you, I'm blessed, and we're lost. I'm going to get into that too. Hey. Going into help us. Help us. Husband, father, man of the house. You can't, I'm going to jump ahead of my notes here because I said help us. You can't be afraid to ask. That's that thing. That flag is 15. That flag got to be whatever the year Katrina was. I made that flag the same year Katrina. And I talked about weapons. What's your weapon? It was crying for help. The definition of help: to give assistance or support to someone. To give. But maybe if you want some help, if you need help, to get assistance or support to someone. Can you give help, or do you need to get some help? Maybe you in the season where I can get some help. Help somebody. Times is hard out here. Maybe you in the season that you need to get some help. The definition of help. No, turn to your neighbor and say, I need some help. Turn to your neighbor and say, I want some help. Turn to your neighbor and say, I can give you some help. You think it ain't hard out here? You know how many brothers I talked to this week and said I'm hurting? I ain't got nobody. You know how many men I talked to? I was telling a little joke last night about if we just say, it's so easy to say. I'm not gonna say it's easy, but listen, wives, if you would just tell your husband, I appreciate you. It's a friend of mine. I don't care what anybody do for him. Anybody say to him, he always say, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Shout out to Big Rob. He always say, I appreciate you. And that just every time I hear him say it, I appreciate you. I mean, we can be out at a restaurant. Somebody bring him a glass of water. Somebody bring him a spoon. Somebody say this. And they might not even be helping him. They might be helping somebody else. But when they walk off, he'll look at them and say, I appreciate you. We appreciate you. Wives, it got to be something about that dude you appreciate. It got to be something that he's doing right that you can tell him, I appreciate you. You know how many men want to just hear, I appreciate you, wives? You know how many men want to hear, thank you, husband? I appreciate you. Thank you for being for me and the kids. Thank you for loving on us. Thank you for protecting us. Thank you for providing for us. You know how many men want to hear thank you? You know how men want to say, and like I said, I've been hearing my buddy been saying that, and then now, and I told Vicky, I love when I hear him say that. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And now it don't got in me. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Those two little words three little words mean a lot to people. And when I say something like that, your husband would love to hear that. Everything I say go both ways. Maybe your wife need to hear, I appreciate you. Honey, I know you've been going the extra mile. Honey, I know you've been carrying the load. Honey, I know you've been doing this. Honey, I know it ain't your fault. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Those little things. I appreciate your help. Turn to your neighbor. See, we got to stop that foolishness. Turn to your neighbor and say you blessed. Turn to your neighbor and say you're highly favored. Turn to your neighbor and say, I'm the head and not the tail. Turn to your neighbor and say, I'm above and not beneath, and we're drowning. Turn to your neighbor and say that, and we're dying. No, turn to your neighbor and say, I need some help. Turn to your neighbor and say, I need some love. Turn to your neighbor and say, I need some support. The meaning of help. To give assistance or support. I need some assistance. I need some support. When we talk about assistance, first thing people want to say, don't ask me for nothing. Don't ask me for no money. The biggest lie we told in church is, how you doing? I'm blessed. I'm blessed and highly favored. I'm above and not beneath. Because a lot of time, and that's what we want to hear. I'm blessed and highly favored. I'm good, because we don't want to hear people's problems. We don't want to hear people's pain. We don't want to hear people's pressure. You know why? Know why, Lady Bell? Because you might ask for some help. You might need some assistance. You might need some support. Another definition is for help is to provide to someone something that is useful. Turning to your neighbor saying you blessed, that ain't useful. It might be an energy drink. It might be an energy shot. It might be a boost. But by the time I walk out of that, by the time I work at that Ephesus, that building, I'm right back at square one. To get or provide someone with something that is useful or necessary in achieving a good end. To provide or to get someone with something, to provide someone with something or to get something from someone that is useful. You blessed and highly favored. That ain't useful. It's a cliche. And I know I don't went left, Lady Bell, but turning to your neighbor saying you're blessed and highly favored. No, I need some assistance. I need some support. I need something that is useful, necessary to achieve the end. I need something that is useful. Thank you for the Thanksgiving meal. Thank you for the bag of food. Thank you for that. But that's only giving a man a fish. I need to learn how to fish. But see, I want to hear you say you blessed and highly favored, because I don't want to give you no assistance. I don't want to give you no support. I don't want to provide anything. I might not even have anything useful to give you. So long as we saying blessed and highly favored, long as we turn it to the left and to the right and behind you talking about you blessed, and everybody's mad, everybody's sad, everybody's hurting, and just a little bit of help. 5 minutes of your time listening to me. I appreciate you. Have I told you I appreciate you, Lady Bell? In case I haven't told you I appreciate you, I appreciate you. The little things, the big things, I appreciate you. 1,000 times, in case that's for the rest of the week, in case I don't say I appreciate you. But like I say, if you need some help, ask for some help. Ask for some help. We got 31 days until the beginning of the year. I talked about last week about people are going to need people. Lady Bell, people are going to need people. And and running to the church, the Ephesus, the building, where 2 or 3 are gathered together. It's going to come out there where if somebody come and knock on your door, I need this, I need that. What are you going to do? You can rely on the church, but the church is 2 or 3. Me and Lady Bell are the church, where 2 or 3 are gathered together, and we haven't been in an established church in a while. But whenever me and Lady Bell whenever we have not been a part of a church, we always, when we was paying tithes and offering to the church, and we didn't pay tithes and offering looking for anything in return. We understand if a church is functioning, yes, it needs finances to function in the community. Fine if you're functioning in the community and you're helping the community. But whenever me and Lady Bell are not a part of a organized religious church, we always adopt a family. We always adopt a family. What you want to call it, adopt a family? And we gonna help that family. You know, we're gonna love on that family. And when I say help, I'm talking about financial help. A praise God and a bless you, and we praying for you. No, the young man and his wife and babies are struggling. They need some help. But see, we don't want to ask anybody, do they need some help? Because if you ask somebody they need some help, you got to give assistance or support. You got to provide something. You got to provide something. Thank you for your words. Thank you for your prayer. Thank you for your affirmation. Thank you for all of that. But we're behind in these bills. We need something that's going to be useful. We need something that's going to be useful. What I say this all the time. You've been married 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 years or more. Your children are grown and gone. And you blessed and highly favored. You've been married over 25 years, and you blessed and highly favored, and you running and shouting at church and talking about how much blessing you ought to. I know, hey, we all got children, but if you blessed and highly favored, you should still be. What I just said, we support a family, adopt a family, you should still be mentoring a family. You should be mentoring a young couple, husband, wife. You should be mentoring a young family. You remember husband, you remember wife, you remember when you was married, first year marriage, second year marriage, babies coming, how trying to pay bills week after week, Just imagine now, you and your wife and them 2 kids, you and your wife and them 3 kids, you and your wife and them 4 kids, and they say the average family is spending $1,200. Was it a month or every 2 weeks? Oh, I think it's $1,200 every 2 weeks, I think, on groceries. $1,200, so that's 24. They're saying grocery is running more than rent. More than that, child care. The average is $250 a week for child care. Why is a woman going to work if you got to pay $250 a week for child care? Don't you remember, husband? Don't you remember, wife? Don't you remember blessed and highly favored couple? You said you blessed and highly favored. You say you the head and not the tail. You say you're above and not beneath. And you see that young man and his wife is struggling. You ain't got to wait to get a word from the Lord. You see they struggling. When I first started going to church, Pastor Michael O. Exon, 1988. couples was, something back then. Couple would leave church and we really fellowship. We went out to eat after church. You'd go out to eat after you went out to eat after first service, and then you would come back, and then you were like, hey, we going to Hometown Buffet. Y'all going? We going to Ponderosa. Y'all going? And you have family that said no. And Pastor Michael Exum says, it wasn't a big church at the time. Maybe it was, well, back then it was considered a mega church. We had about 400 or 500 members. And he would say, if you got the money to invite somebody to dinner in between service, says ask them. You can't ask Brother Bell and Sister Bell, do they want to go to dinner? And they say no. They got them 4 babies. They want to go. They just can't afford to go. So when you go to church and you see that young couple, say, hey, you might know he's struggling, not know he's struggling, but go and say, hey, look, me and my wife would like to take you and your kids to dinner this Sunday. If y'all don't mind, we want to take y'all, we going over to Golden Corral. It ain't got to be a 5-star restaurant. It ain't got to be Cheesecake Factory. It ain't got to be the Red Lobster. It ain't got to be, you take kids to the Golden Corral, they're going to enjoy that. But you can't say you blessed and highly favored and walk right out of church in your brand new suit and your shoes and you and your wife jump in the car and go to a 5-star restaurant and drop $300 and talking about you blessed and just looked at that young couple and ain't said nothing. I'm not just talking. This is what me and Lady Bell did from day one. Even when we just got married and struggling, it was always can I tell that? Remember that old spiritual lie everybody used to tell about the man complaining about he didn't have no shoes until he saw the man with no feet. And then remember that pastor would come to the church all the time and tell the lie like, yeah, we went over to Africa and we prayed and it was a man with no feet. He had 1 foot. And the Lord told me to take my shoe off and put it on him. And that man grew a foot. Remember that lie, Vicky? And I stood up there and like, he actually sitting up here telling this lie. The Lord told me to take my shoe off and put it on his ankle, and the man grew a foot. And then this the killer part. This man's bishop came. You remember this, Lady Bell? Then the man bishop came, and he turned to the pastor and said, "Remember we was over there in Africa, and that man didn't have no foot." He said, "Matter of fact, he just had a nub at the bottom of his knee." I said, "No, it was at the knee. And you took that shoe off and you put him on, and he grew that leg and foot." I'm like, y'all ain't get y'all lie lined up, did y'all? It went from the ankle to the knee. So this stuff, I'm telling you, even when me and Lady Bell, when we was young and struggling with 4 kids, we always help people. And I say that because somebody said to me the other day, man, how do you continue to be blessed? Because we are givers. We are givers. I'm sorry, Lady Bell said I'm a giver. But if I'm a giver, that makes her a giver because, and maybe I'm going to say in 29 years, I'm going to say maybe only twice you told me your wisdom was like, no, Rob, don't, nah. We was at that church in Akron. You remember? And I remember after the marriage class, that dude was like, and Vicky was like, Rob. Well, me and my wife did. Vicky like, that one. No, I'm telling you. Vicky's like, no, I'm telling you, that's a no on that one. Don't give him nothing. And I was like, okay, Lady Bell, obviously you got a word since you that direct about don't give that dude nothing. So, and I'm not saying this to brag, I'm not saying this to boast, but we are, ask anybody who know us since we've been married 1997, ask anybody who knows us. if they don't hung around us, if they don't been to dinner with us, we don't picked up a check. If they don't say it, they got a bill that's behind, we don't gain them from some financial help. I'm just saying this because when people say, how y'all so blessed? And when me and Lady Bell talking about blessed, we talking about peace, we talking about love, we talking about joy, we talking about wisdom, we talking about unity. Money, and people say, if I just had a little bit more money, but can you imagine having whatever your comfortability is in money, you at your comfortable point in money, but ain't no peace? Your comfortable point with money ain't no joy. Your comfortable point with money and you don't want to be with him. Your comfortable point with money and you don't want to be with her. Your comfortable point with money and y'all can't have a good time. I can't imagine being at my comfortable place of money and I don't want to go home. I can't imagine being at my comfortable place with money and she don't want to come home. I can't imagine being at my comfortable place with money and we don't like each other. I can't imagine being at my comfortable place with money and we don't love each other. I can't imagine being at my comfortable place with money and we want to go our separate ways. Money is not what I always say about money, Lady Bell. Money is the what? Money is not the answer. Godliness with contentment, godliness with peace, godliness with love, godliness with understanding, godliness with unity is great gain. The little girl had to remind me about a month and a half ago, sir, are you rich? You gotta go bell. You gotta go whistle. You gotta go watch and look at your wife. I'm more than rich. A little 10-year-old girl had to remind me how rich I was. What was I saying, Lady Bell? Oh, so because I brought that about giving and all because something crazy happened to us Sunday at the Browns game. I made this little chain with a shoe on it, and I'm a little Timberland shoe with some brown symbol on, and this lady begged me the whole game to buy it. She begged me the whole game to buy it. I'm literally from the first quarter to the middle of the fourth quarter, I finally said, okay. And I'm not going to say the price because, you know why I'm not going to say the price no more, Lady Bell? Because people don't believe it. But see, that's how people been telling me for years. Even Lady Bell. Lady Bell she already got the whole, what you call the layout for my book. She got all the chapters all written. And she said, what we gonna call this book? I said, we're gonna write it's gonna be if I wrote a book about my life, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe how good life, God, the power that be has been to me. And Lady Bell told me, she said, Rob, you're reaping. You know how many people, Rob, you know how many people you don't love on? You know how many people you don't gave to? You know how many people you don't bless? And then when crazy stuff that happened like Saturday that happens, it's just a return, Lady Bell. I hate using that word karma. I hate using that word karma because I don't know if karma is real. Because let's say karma is real. I'm almost scared to say this, but I'm gonna say it. And I never said this, probably first time I ever said this. I don't like karma because I believe 90% of my good karma have returned to me. I believe 90% of my good karma have returned to me. But that other stuff, my bad karma, Power to be, life, love, God. Please don't let that bad karma come back. Please don't. Maybe if the good karma outweighed the bad karma, maybe you get more good karma in return. You want to say, you have something you want me to say, Laybell? So I was talking about the thing about giving and all of that, and Thanksgiving. Let me jump back in that Thanksgiving. Excuse me for jumping back, but and the boycott of Target and all of that. This is crazy. How you gonna lead a promotion of boycotting Target, but then talk about let's all relax after this wild year and celebrate Thanksgiving? My grandma would say some things don't go together. Boycotting Target and then talking about let's celebrate Thanksgiving. My grandma say stuff don't go together. Everybody was up and roar. Now, the story, I don't know what that. However, this thing about the two and prayers go out to the servicemen that got shot. Now, the story behind the servicemen getting shot and they catching the dude that quick, man, I told y'all, they feeding us so much stuff. Keep your head on the swivel. Keep your head on the swivel. The dude in the White House, first thing he said, his uproar was, we getting rid of this. We bringing 500 more troops, boots on the ground. And it's all in the plan, y'all. It's all in the plan. And then he said, I'm lifting all what, Lady Bell? Visas. I'm lifting all visas. Do you know, taking their green card? Do you know over 300,000 Haitian green cards is going to expire in February? I said Haitian green cards of visas. They're going to expire, and he's talking about he's not renewing any of them. But meanwhile, let's have Thanksgiving dinner. In the meantime, let's have Thanksgiving dinner. And he went right back to those people. And in the meantime, those people at two of the games on Thursday, how was black people singing the national anthem on national TV on Thanksgiving Day? By the renewing of your mind. We don't want our mind renewed. We want to stay stuck. We want to stay there. I'm not giving thanks for Thanksgiving. I'm giving thanks to God. Mumbo jumbo. That's what they taught you. You can't. My grandmama say two things can't go together. Black folks can't sing the national anthem on Thanksgiving Day. And this man is talking about he's not giving out any more visas, no more green card. He's deporting all of them. Those people. Are we ever? Spike Lee told us 40 years ago. What's the name of that movie? At the end of the movie, wake up. We still ain't woke. School days. DAZE. We still in the day. We still haven't woke up. Some things just don't. Oh, but CeCe whining. She tore that up. Oh, she was filled with the Spirit when that God was trying to. Black folks and God always trying to tell us something. He ain't telling Trump nothing. He ain't telling them evangelicals nothing. Why is he always telling us something? Why we always got to get a word? Why we always got to bow? Why we always got to be the good one? Why we always got to forgive? Why we always got to give thanks? Next time you go to a restaurant, just sit around and watch. Now I got a white buddy. We've been buddies since one of my first friends I met since when I moved out here. But he thinks he's a soul brother. He all right with me. Now, and the place he works for, he goes to a lot of events, hosts a lot of events, And so I was just having a conversation. We was in a restaurant one day, just me and him, and looking around. There's people sitting down, and I asked him. I said, "Observe this for me." And as people of color sat down, everybody prayed over their food. Everybody blessed their food. Not one white person sat down in that restaurant and blessed their food. So I said to him, when you go to these events, I said, because when I go to events, NAACP, Green Tie Affair, Urban Affair, when I go to any of them affairs, they always bring up somebody black. We got to bless the food, y'all. We got to bless the food. I said, you go to concerts. We go to our black concert. Somebody got to sing a worship song. Somebody got to sing a gospel song. I said, now when you go to these events, I know you go to a lot of white events. You go to a lot of black events. He said, Rob, that's right. 90% of the black events I go to, somebody get up and pray and bless the food and thank God. When I go to white events, they don't do that. They don't do that. And who was that who said the very ones who taught us don't even do what they taught us, or trained us, or conditioned us, or conformed us? And like I always tell you, Lady Bell, if anything ever happened to me, never conform. Always be a transformed. Be ye transformed by the renewing your mind. Never conform, Lady Bell. If anything happened to me, never conform. Always be a transformer. And after we got that news the other day about, I'll talk to you about that later. But some things just don't go together. And that just, we ain't had nothing else to do on Turkey Day. So we sat around and watched all the games. And I was like, why are we on Sundays, Thursdays, Mondays, why are we, people of color, still singing this national anthem? And we would say boycott Target, but we won't boycott the NFL. We won't boycott the NBA. The first thing when he said we're getting rid of all this DEI stuff, diversity, equity, and inclusion, the first thing the NBA and NFL did was stop. You remember the NFL had back of the helmets, stop racism, stop all of that in the end zone, end racism. Soon as Trump got elected, the NBA stripped all that stuff off the helmet. But we didn't say boycott the NFL. See, you got to do stuff that's going to, if you're really going to boycott, you got to do stuff that's going to affect you, that's going to hurt you. Not going to Target ain't hurt none of us. You think Target give a dang if y'all coming or not? But if we all turn off that TV and don't watch the NFL, man, you sound crazy. You sound crazy. I'm watching the NFL. I ain't going to Target. But I'm watching the NFL. I'm watching the game. LeBron is in his 23rd season. I'm not missing this. This might be his last season. I'm going to watch me some Lakers. I'm talking about me personally. I'm watching me some Lakers. This might be LeBron's last season. I'm hoping that he ain't, because we waiting for Bryce to come in to be the first father-son triplets playing on the same team. But if you're going to boycott something, you got to boycott something. When they boycotted, y'all, my history ain't the greatest. I cheated all the way through school. But when they did the boycott, what city did the boycott, the bus boycott start? Was it Alabama? Whatever. Well, y'all know when what's the lady name we didn't want to sit down? Said she wouldn't give no seat. Rosa Parks. That boycott lasted, I think, a little over a year. Am I right, historian? It wasn't, but it was a boycott. So if they weren't catching the bus, they was walking. And this, they didn't have Lexuses back then. They didn't have BMW back then. They didn't have Mercedes back then. Yeah, they didn't have that stuff. They couldn't call Uber. They couldn't call Lyft. They couldn't call Tyrone. They didn't have. Majority of us back then was on the public transit. You're going to boycott. You got to do stuff that's going to hurt you. Oh, we not buying no gas today. But we're getting not buying no gas today. Make sure you fill up. Make sure you fill up, because we boycotting tomorrow. Oh, they still got your duckies. We ain't gonna do no shopping this week or doing Black Christmas week. We ain't gonna do no. They know they got us because I'm talking about we. When they say we are consumers, we are consumers. I was cleaning up my closet the other day and I told Lady Bell, I don't need another of nothing. I don't need another nothing. I don't need another pair of shoes. I don't need another pair of socks. I was cleaning up my dresser. I had like over 30 pairs of brand new socks, never even worn. Ridiculous. Over. I had 14 white caps, 14 white baseball caps. What is wrong with you, Rob? Come on now. Long as they know we're going to buy, we're going to run out and buy. And like I told you, Labor, I don't need another baseball cap. I don't need another pair of shoes. I don't need another pair of jeans. I don't need another jacket. I don't need nothing. I just need to get. If I lose another 20 more pounds, I got 10 jogging suits I can wear. But we was talking about, I want to go back to before we end, I want to talk about, I got at least 5 minutes. I want to talk about the Valley of Baraka. Because Lady Bell, I'm going to put this on you now, and I hope you will. When I played that song, Lift Me Up, Hold Me Down. Every year, me and Lady Bell get a song that that be our song for the year. In 2020, in 2019, Deidre Haddon came out with the song Open Door Season. So I said, Vicky, I like the song. I like the song Open Door Season. That was 2019. I said, that's going to be our song going into 2020. And y'all know what happened in 2020. All the doors closed. I'm like, man, this going to be our go-to song for 2020 and all the doors is closed. Me and Lady Bell riding down the strip. I had my big old speaker taped to my bike, booming, Open Door Season. Google it. We were the first ones to ride our bikes down the strip. It was just me and Lady Bell, and I think that Sunday morning at about 6:30 in the morning, I don't even think 5 cars passed us up. I'm riding down the street, booming, Open Door Season, and a security guard stopped, and he's like, man, what is all this about? Man, hey, I know all the doors is closed, but it's going to be Open Door Season for us. And the security guard looked at me like, you sound crazy. And he looked at Vicky like, this man sound crazy. So what's wrong with you? Why is you even with him? And you see how pretty you is? Why you with this fool? Hey, but all 2020 doors were opening. So that was 2020. 2021, our song was, I heard that song, Rihanna, Lift Me Up, Hold Me Down. All 2020, life was blessing us. And I told Vicky, we got to stay focused. I need you to lift me up. I'm going to lift you up. I need you to hold me down. I'm going to hold you down. That Rihanna, that was our song going into 2021. 2022, I can't recall it right now because I'm running short on time. But we went to, and every morning and for some reason I said that song was going to be, and for some reason, and we read about the Valley of Baraka. For some reason that morning, 1 Corinthians chapter 20, and talked about the Valley of Baraka. And I told Vicky, and we went to the top of the mountain. What's that mountain out there, Carice, on Blue Diamond, where everybody goes to a little park there? Is it Blue Mountain? Not Blue Mountain. You don't know what it? You don't go on that side of town? but me and hey, it's on Blue Diamond and. Yeah, I think it is Blue Diamond right here. But y'all know that mountain, and we went up there, and you go up there, it's a perfect view of the strip. And it's like, it was the Valley of Baraka, and I told Vicky, Valley of Baraka. Now, the Valley of Baraka, I ain't got enough time to tell the story. But if you want to understand why we've been shouting about the Valley of Baraka, we've been in the Valley of Baraka since 2020. Now, I understand why we've been talking about open door season. We've been, Deidre Hatton, open door season. But if you want some doors to open in your life, you got to open some doors for some people. People are going to need people. People need some help. And when I say help, they're going to need some assistance. They're going to need some support. They're going to need you to provide them with something that is useful. You can keep your God is good. You can keep your blessed and highly favored. You can keep your head and not the tail. You can keep your up above only and not beneath. No, I need $50. I need $100. Me and my wife need this. Me and my wife, we need for, we don't want to go home after church. We need for you and your wife to take us, me and my kids, to dinner. You can keep your hallelujah. You can keep your any good all the time. No, we need some help. We need some assistance. We need some support. We need you to provide us with something that is useful and necessary to achieve a good end. 1 + 1 will always be 1. 2 is bigger, but it's still 1. 1 1,000, but 2 10,000. Help. Team Bell. We out.
Welcome to Marriage Bootcamp with Vicky and Robert Bell on Hot 702.5 FM, Risky Radio.